I want to read you an excerpt from a book that I've been reading called Nobody Knows the Trouble I've Seen, The Emotional Lives of Black Women by Inger Burnett Ziegler. Okay. And then I want to share a personal experience. Okay. Although we Black women show up with dignity, grace, and composure, many of us may be privately breaking down, overcome with sadness or worry, withdrawing and isolating from friends and family, staying in bed all day, unable to function or even contemplating death. When these feelings build up and boil over, we can be riddled with shame and guilt, and incorrectly assume that we're the only ones going through such things. We believe that strong Black women aren't allowed the convenience of a break or a breakdown. Even when we are suffering, we think that we should be able to handle our feelings on our own without family support. They may tell your business. Or professional support. You can't trust white counselors. When being strong means not acknowledging one's true feelings or asking for help, being strong leads to breaking down and upholding the facade that precludes healing. I have lived this time and time again. I have spent days, weeks, months in bed, willing myself to get up. I have wanted to end my life because I was tired, I was alone, I was struggling to be Wonder Woman, and I was failing at it. Yeah, I was failing at it, and I felt like a failure. And since I felt like a failure, I felt like I was useless. Like, why was I even here? And that's the downside of being a strong Black woman. When you fail, you internalize it. That failure becomes who you are as a person. What was the point if I couldn't do anything right? So why continue to exist? But I got back up. And I didn't get back up for myself. I got back up because I had an obligation. I got back up because I remembered that my daughter had to serve in the nursery at church, and she needed a ride to church the next morning. I got back up because I remembered that I told my friend that I would cover for him and lead the usher team at church. So I got back up out of my bed out of obligation. How many of us have a similar story? How many of us tried to end our lives anyway, but out of the grace of whomever you serve, you're still here, only to continue being a superwoman? Now, I don't share my story to get sympathy or pity. I don't want either. It gets on my nerves. Yeah, that gets on my nerves, okay? I share my story, and I read that excerpt because I want you to know that you are not alone, okay? So let me preach to me as I preach to you. Yeah. When you are down, when you are that low, when it feels like you are the only one who feels that way, you are not the only one. You're not the only one. You are not alone. There is at least one Black woman in this country who knows exactly how you feel. And that is step number one, realizing that you are not alone. Because I know exactly how you feel. Step number two, and in my own personal opinion, this is the hardest step, and that's reaching out for help. I know you feel like a burden. I know you probably don't want to appear weak. But you know what? Everybody needs help. I know. At some point in our lives, everyone needs help, whether it is from family or friends or professional help. We all need help. And did you know therapy is not a bad word? I know it's shocking, but it's not a bad word. And there are actually good therapists out there, okay? It may take a second to find a good one, but there are actually some out there. And one more thing, a good therapist may not actually be a Black one. I know. Hear me out. Hear me out. My therapist is an Asian woman. She's a little crazy, but she's a good therapist for me. Okay? Okay. Number three, I will repeat this until the day I die. No is a complete sentence. Yeah. Don't do anything that does not serve you, your family, or your goals. Yeah. That's all I have for us today. Yeah. Baby steps, okay? Baby steps. Do what's right for you. Everybody's path to healing looks different. And it's okay if you fall back, as long as you get back up. Okay?